First and foremost, before we get started, I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rekah Kwadash, and the ourselves green millstone, Wallet is truth, and also to those elect that is scattered abroad. I like to say Shalom, and come back here today with another great and powerful lesson, the spirit and the power of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. And the type of day lesson is World War III news update. So I like to say Shalom to all our listeners and learners. Hope to sweep you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we start today's lesson, I have a quick news article here by CBS News. And it reads that Iran launches missiles attack on Israel, but Israeli military says no casualties reported. So we know that things are constantly heating up, and also, it's coming, and there is nothing we can do about it. These prophecies, they're constantly speaking loud and clear. We're very close. Also, we know that World War III has begun. Things are here right before our eyes. And a lot of people right now, they're beginning to see, that the men of the Lord was telling them the truth through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. The Lord said the truth will be declared. And one thing about it, anything that was hidden, anything that was covered, it's being uncovered right now. All the lies and the deception, these things are coming to an end. Also, we knowing that our salvation is at the door, and also what the great and glorious return of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, it is fast approaching. And also, I heard also in the news of these airports are shutting down because of these port strikes. And also, I heard about another strike, possible strike with Amazon. So a lot of these things are constantly picking up, order out of chaos. And also, they're saying that the U.S. military is getting ready to defend, saying that Russian warships, also in collaboration with China, are headed to Alaska. And one thing about it, while you're sleeping, once again, the devil is constantly getting busy. And also the Lord is constantly moving the chess pieces around. The Lord is getting ready to bring this thing to a close. We're seeing it happening right before our eyes. So this was in retaliation for what Israel had done. I think they took out that Hezbollah leader, which in fact was backed by Iran. We're seeing these things are constantly picking up. We're so very excited. Also, we know we're coming upon a great economic collapse any given day. And also we know that they have put this new system. It's already in place. All they have to do is announce some type of crisis, some type of event to bring it forth. So we seeing, so it's a possibility that it might not even be election. So we know that this is all by design of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Also, we know that left hand energy is constantly working. So we're gonna get a little bit of this news report, this video by CBS. Let's get a little bit of this for edification purpose. We're not gonna read the article. We're just gonna go straight into the news video. And here we go.
Breath over the fear of a much wider Middle East war after Iran launched a new attack on Israel. Incoming ballistic missiles filled the night sky over Israel more than during Iran's previous attack in April. Many of them were shot down by Israel and by the U.S. Navy on President Biden's orders. The Iranians say the barrage was in retaliation for recent Israeli attacks, including the aerial assault that killed most of Hezbollah's leadership. Israel now finds itself battling Hamas in Gaza, Hezbollah in Lebanon, and after today's attack, Israel says there will be consequences for Iran. We'll have late reaction from the White House in a moment, but we want to begin in Tel Aviv, where CBS's Chris Livesay witnessed the barrage. Good evening, Chris.
Good evening, Nora. Israelis have been bracing for a major retaliation after the recent assassinations of Hamas and Hezbollah leaders. Well, tonight, that retaliation finally came. Ballistic missiles light up the night sky as Israel intercepts them, sending red-hot shrapnel floating like embers. Some leaked through Israel's defenses, hitting targets on the ground. Iran blanketed the length of the country with some 180 missiles, Israel says, from the north.
On the right side.
Left side.
To the Western Wall in Jerusalem, to Tel Aviv, where we were when the sirens blared and panic erupted. She's been told to back away from the door of the shelter. It's moving away. We've heard a series of booms. You can see everybody's just piled into this parking garage that's doubling as a bomb shelter. Children here, there's dogs here. The Israeli military says the attack would have consequences. We have plans, said a spokesman. We will act at a time and place of our choosing. And in a conspicuous turn, just moments before the missile barrage, there was an apparent terrorist attack at a Tel Aviv train station when two men opened fire with assault rifles, killing at least 7 and wounding 8, police say. Violence brought to the doorstep of Israel's largest city, set against the backdrop of a widening war. In the past 24 hours, Israel launched what it calls a limited ground offensive into southern Lebanon, targeting Hezbollah rocket positions that have wreaked havoc across Israel's north for nearly a year. Today, the Israeli military released video showing Israeli soldiers descending into Hezbollah's vast tunnel system and revealing caches of weaponry and ammunition. The IDF claims this aerial footage shows the destruction of an underground compound, fighting of an intensity not seen since the last Israel-Lebanon war in 2006, when Israel launched a full ground invasion. This is Iran's second direct attack on Israel this year. How Israel responds to this latest barrage could determine the direction of the widening war and whether the U.S. gets dragged into it. Nora?
Chris Livesay with that new reporting. Thank you very much.
Okay, let's get a quick precept. So we're saying that things are constantly heating up in the Middle East.
Waterline broke. Replacing could cost thousands. Not covered.
Get rid of that right quick. Salakia for that. I have some more videos to bring out, but we're gonna start here in Luke chapter 21. So we know that it's coming, and there's nothing we can do about it because these are Bible prophecies are constantly being fulfilled. You know, everything is getting ready to be fulfilled. That said measure is almost here. We're almost out of here. All we got to do is keep enduring, keep the faith, keep pushing, keep believing, and the Lord is going to do the rest. So now, let's start here. Let's get a quick precept, then we'll have some more videos to bring out. It says here, Luke chapter 21 and verse 20, it said, "And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh." So we knowing that this is talking about 70 AD, but I'm gonna use it in a modern sense. And one thing about it, we knowing that right now that Israel will be compassed with armies very soon. We already knowing that once America get involved, we already know that Iran already got Russia lying in waiting. And also we knowing that Russia is going to be a guard to these other nations. Ezekiel chapter 38, we'll get that very soon. So that's what we're seeing. We know what happened back in 70 AD. We knowing that, the Lord said he will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. Who is Amalek? Those, fake-ish people. We have to be careful what we say about them because they will pull the video down. And also we know we are upon famine of the world. So that's reading in NLT. Luke chapter 21 and verse 20 in the NLT. It said, and when you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, said, then you will know that the time of its destruction has arrived. So it's very close. Once again, we know that this is this is talking about 70 AD, but I'm using it in a modern sense for, of just, clarity for these scoffers, a lot of scoffing, unbelief. Oh, he's saying this and saying that about it. But one thing about it is that the elect will get it through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Shem outside. This is a twofold scripture, So let's read this once again. It said, and when you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, then you will know that the time of its destruction has arrived. So the destruction of what Israel has arrived. The Lord is getting ready to burn this place. The Lord is getting ready to cleanse this place. But we knowing that Israel will be rebuilt back up. The land got to be cleansed because of what it is trodden down by the Gentile. And also we knowing that what the times of the Gentiles are almost fulfilled. We're in that transition of power. Verse 21 said, then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter thereto. In reference to 70 AD. But one thing about it, we're seeing right now that a lot of people are going to get out of Israel once these things start. And some people are still not unaware, but we know that what happened in 70 AD, there is no new thing under the sun. The same players are here today, if you believe in what reincarnation. So that's exactly what we're seeing right now. It's playing out. Man, the Lord is a master chess player. Verse 22 said, for these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. So that's where we at. We're at that time. At the end it shall speak and not lie. Let's read in the NLT, Luke chapter 21 and verse 22 in the blue letter. It said, for those will be days of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, vengeance, and the prophetic words of the scriptures will be fulfilled. So that's where we at. All things are getting ready to be fulfilled. And also we knowing that, hey man, we are very close, man. We are rejoicing. We're almost out of this nightmare. Immortality, rulership, spiritual power. It is right around the corner. The Lord's getting ready to help us in ways that we do not know how. Beyond our comprehension. Things are getting ready to happen, man. We are very excited. Verse 23, Salaki. Verse 23, it said, but woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, for there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people. In reference to what 70 AD. But one thing about it, we already knowing that that's what's getting ready to happen. They're going to be in distress. Say, hey man, when all this hell break loose in Israel, the least of the flock shall draw them out. So, man, I'm telling you, man, these prophecies are constantly popping off the pages. Verse 24, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentile be fulfilled. So we already know that we were scattered to all nations until this day. And one thing about it, we are still in the land of our captivity today. And one thing about it, the Lord is getting ready to come to deliver us from from the east to the west. And it said, in the land of our captivity, we shall remember ourselves. That's exactly what's happening right now. And let's read this once again in the NLT. He said, and they will be killed by the sword, or sent away as captives to all nations. We were scattered into all nations because we sinned against Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. We have not been in our homeland, which in fact the southern tribe, we have not been there since 70 AD. So one thing about it is that we already know that the northern tribe was already in captivity, Assyrian captivity, but that's a whole nother lesson. And it says here, and Jerusalem will be trampled down by the Gentiles until the period of the Gentiles come to an end. So that's where we at. The times of the Gentiles are fulfilling. That's why we constantly seeing these things are constantly picking up in the Middle East, one thing behind another. Tensions are constantly rising. We seeing that the war drums are constantly accelerating. We seeing that everyone is getting in position. We're seeing that that everyone is preparing for war. And one thing about this is the last and final war that will end all wars. World War III. The third war come quickly. That's exactly what we're seeing with our eyes. We are very excited. Once again, the times of the Gentiles is almost fulfilled. So these fake-ish peoples that are in the land right now, which in fact is Amalek, we know that Amalek was the grandson of Esau. So we already know what people we're talking about. Not white, red. And one thing about it, the Lord is constantly exposing a lot of things, man. We're living in some exciting times. And one thing about it, the Lord is getting ready to bring this nightmare to a close once again. In the middle of the Lord, we're constantly being very repetitive. You know, we are sounding like a broken record, but the Lord said, keep not silent. Warn them from me. Get on your asses, whether you will hear or whether you will forbear. The Lord already said they are a rebellious house. And one thing about it, they killed the prophet back then. You know what I'm saying? They killed Yahushua back then. And one thing about it, the Lord is getting ready to repay these these wicked Negroes, these wicked Latinos, these wicked Native Indians. The Lord is getting ready to repay. And also he's getting ready to pay these heathen nations. And one thing about it, hey man, the Lord don't forget. So let's go here. Let's get a couple of more videos, and then we'll start today's lesson. We'll come back to Luke chapter 21, and I hope that you will get edified. So let's start today's video.
That the United States is gearing up for homeland defense. Now, this is coming as Russia and Chinese warships are in the Pacific. Now, this came out yesterday. So in addition to all the stuff I've been sharing with you about the threats against Alaska, we're now hearing, in addition to that, they are moving towards Alaska by sea. So yesterday I shared with you all of the stuff that was coming by air. Take a look at the articles that we saw. Russian bomber, and they were concerned because this was a potential nuclear bomber, a Russian bomber, fighter aircrafts detected in Alaska defense zone, NORAD says. So they said that they were very upset with what was unfolding as a result of these bombers that were flying by, several jets, military jets going by. Take a look at this. Russian military planes detected off Alaskan coast after Army deploys troops to the region. Now, I know a lot of people had said, what's the big deal? Like, they run these drills all the time. Well, as you can see, Army deploys troops to the region. The United States did not take this lightly. Very concerned with this response, this reaction coming out from Russia and China, saying this was not planned. And even though the United States came out and said, this is not a threat, what we saw unfold was troops deployed. We saw them getting things ready and in place as a major concern of what was unfolding in Alaska, as we're hearing that U.S. soil here is potentially at risk. Now, we've heard these warnings coming out from Ukraine. Actually, as I speak right now, UN, we're hearing that Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is warning that this is just the first phase of Russia's attack on the entire...
Iran launched a barrage of missiles at Israel, sparking terror on the streets of Tel Aviv. Rockets lit up the sky and smashed into buildings as air sirens blared across the country just hours after the White House had warned an attack was imminent. The first missiles were fired around 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, according to reports out of Israel. The U.S. warning had come about 5 hours earlier. The terrifying attack was in response to Israel's killing of Hezbollah's senior leadership and its ground invasion of southern Lebanon. Iran's state TV claimed that 80% of their missiles launched at Israel hit their target. It's unclear exactly what the targets were. Just before the Iranian missile barrage began, Israeli police said gunmen opened fire in Tel Aviv on the boundary with Jaffa, leaving at least 8 dead. The attack raises the possibility of all-out war between the two bitter enemies, who have fought a shadow war for years, as Tehran sought to destroy Israel, and Israel tried to rein in Iran's nuclear program. Follow Daily Mail as we continue to cover this breaking news.
So, hey, man, things are constantly heating up, man. Hey, man, Lord, hey, all the talking about to be over. The Lord's getting ready to bring it very soon. So let's go here to Ezekiel. Just a very quick lesson, just rolling in the spirit. And, man, we're living in some very exciting time, man. The Lord is getting ready to return, man. The Lord is coming. The Lord is coming. We are very excited. So let's start here, Ezekiel chapter 38, because the Lord is constantly putting the chess pieces together. We're seeing that we're here, man. It's about, the Lord's getting ready to show you, these two-thirds, constantly not believing, and them all sorts of mayhem, also these ports, that right now things are constantly heating up, it could be, any given time they can bring forth that MOTB. So we know that the MOTB got to come forth, that grain of rice, and then the hour of temptation, man, the things are here, man. The Bible is the true book. Ezekiel chapter 38 and verse 4 said, "And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaw, and I will bring thee forth, and all thy army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords." So that's what we're seeing right now. All of them are handling swords, or all of them are preparing for what? For war. And one thing about it, we already know that the Lord is putting the spirit back upon Russia, that old ancient Russia, that USSR, they're putting that old ancient spirit back upon them. So we know that right now that these things are getting ready to pick up. The Lord is putting the hooks in Russia's jaw. Russia is getting ready to be a god to these nations, whether you believe it or not. So we already knowing that, they just laying back in the cut right now. But we already know that Israel do something ill-advised, which in fact, I think they're going to do it, the least of the flock. And once they get it popping, and then and America get involved, then Russia is getting ready to come in. They're getting ready to knock both of them on their asses. We're very close, man. America and Israel will not win this war. The Lord's taking out, he's getting ready to take out all of these governments. Verse 5, it said Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shields and helmets. And now by Persia is the modern day Iran, so we know that we're very close. Ethiopia going into these African nations, Libya also, and said with shields and helmets, they're preparing for war, hey, they getting ready to join. They all are getting together, joining together, what's called coming into an alliance. So like it said, verse 6 said, Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarter, and all of his bands, and many people with thee. And out about that, Gomer is in the house of Togarmah. It's talking about Turkey. So they're gonna join in with them too. And I don't. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think that Turkey is a part of NATO. If it is, Salaki for that, I don't think they are. But if they are, they're gonna join into this battle too. And also, we know that at some point, once again, NATO will turn on America. So it says here, verse 7, it said the 10 horns but verse 7 said, but thou prepare and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and and be thou a God unto them. That's talking about Russia, the bear. Russia's getting ready to be a God to these nations. I say it over and over because we seeing it lining up just like clockwork. And also, there's already rumors that Russia is helping Iran. It's saying, that they are constantly supplying it with all sorts of supplies and military equipment. So, right now these things are picking up. We know that they hit them with all the, I think they said it was 180 missiles that hit in Israel today, but we know that these things are getting ready to get very critical. Things are getting ready to go nuclear. Man, we are so very close. Let's read in the NLT, Ezekiel chapter 30 and verse 7 in NLT. It said, get ready. It said, be prepared. Keep all the armies around you mobilized and take command of them. Exactly what Russia is getting ready to do. Putin is getting ready to get it popping. And also, it's already rumors that China is getting ready to go into Taiwan. So we already know that America got their hands very full, constantly, going in other people's nation, constantly robbing and spoiling and killing, constantly putting their policy, their democracy, their influence on the entire world. But the Lord is getting ready to bring it to a close. The Lord is getting ready to cease the arrogancy of the proud. And who is the most proud? Esau, Edom. The so-called white man, the red man. The Lord's getting ready to put this nightmare to an end. Also, Amalek, it's a part of that same nation of peoples, so to put it like that, we have to be very careful when we talk about the Ish peoples, the synagogues of Satan. Salakia. So this is where we at, man. We're very close, man. The war drums are beating. The Lord is getting ready to return. Let's go here. Salakia. Let's go here. Joel chapter 3, started at verse 9. We go over these all the time. It said, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare a war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come down. Hey man, we seeing that right now, preparing for what? War. Hey man, these heathens are raging. It said, verse in the NLT, verse 9 says, say to the nation far and wide, get ready for war, call out your best warriors, let all your fighting men advance for the attack. That's exactly what they're getting ready to do. They're getting ready. Ain't nothing no one can do about it. You can say this, you can say that, but the Bible is constantly lining up just like clockwork. Can you see? Are you listening? Don't worry about it. The Lord is getting ready to show you. Man, we're very close. Verse 10 said, beat your plowshare shares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Exactly what they're doing right now. Everyone is bucking up against Babylon the Great. Also, the UK, they, all the enemies of Yahweh Ba'al Shai is getting ready to fall. The Lord is, man, he's devising this right before our eyes, man. The Lord is doing a mighty work, man. It says here, verse 10 in the NLT says, hammer your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Train even your weaklings to be warriors. man, this blue letter, sometimes it goes off, but it's spot on sometime. Verse 11 says, assemble yourself and come all ye heathens and gather yourself together round about thither. Call thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. And one thing about it, when the Lord return, the mighty ones will be with him. The angels, the Lord will be among the thousands of angels when he returns. You know what I'm saying? And man, the Lord is getting ready do a mighty work. The Lord is getting ready to do a whole lot of killing. Anyone that fight in this last and final war, you know what I'm saying, World War III, you are going to be unalive. We constantly warn you left and right. It is here. NLT verse 11 said, come quickly, all you nations everywhere, gather together in the valley. And now, O Lord, call out your warriors. They're getting ready to show up and they're getting ready to show out. In that time, the Archangel Michael is going to stand up for the children of Israel. And also, they're going to be protecting us in ways that we do not know how, beyond our comprehension. When the enemy come in like a flood, that military flood, the Lord is going to lift up that standard, so they're getting ready to come down. They're already here. The Lord is visiting the earth that he created. The UFO sites are constantly, every day. While I'm doing this lesson, I'm looking at a chair right, while I'm doing this lesson, man. But the Lord is right here. He's listening. He's constantly, he got like Esau saying that he has everything under surveillance, trying to want that total control. But guess what? The Lord has the total control. He has everything under surveillance. He's watching. He's watching. He's listening to everything and everything. Because what? He is the creator of all heaven and earth. The king of the universe is getting ready to return. And one thing about it, these heathens imagine a vain thing. They are in for a rude awakening. And also these 2/3 that acting like the heathen, and you'll get ready to die like a heathen. Verse 12, it said, let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, or Yahweh Shaphat. It said, for there will I sit and judge all the heathen round about. So the Lord's getting ready to bring forth that judgment left and right. And the body count is getting ready to be great once again. It said, verse 13, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is right. Come, get you down, for the press is full. The fat overflow, for their wickedness is great. So one thing about it, you're already knowing that it's harvest time. Harvest goes into the end of the world, whether you believe it or not. And that sickle, the Lord is getting ready to destroy a lot of peoples, man. We constantly want, the Lord's getting ready to take down these government left and right. In that day, they shall know that a prophet was among them. Also, they getting ready to know, in that day, who the Lord is, that great fear of the Lord's getting ready to come back. It ain't going to be no white man Jesus. Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushua is very close. Verse 13 in the NLT, it says, swing the sickle, for the harvest is right, the end of the world. Come, tread the grapes, for the winepress is full. The storage vats are overflowing, and the wickedness of these people. So one thing about it, we know that wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. So one thing about it, the Lord's getting ready to return. Man, we are so very close. Verse 11 is there, Joel chapter 3 and verse 14, multitudes and multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. The Lord is getting ready to bring that decision, judgment like you have never seen before. Let's read an NLT. It says here, thousand upon thousands are waiting in the valley of decision. There the day of the Lord will soon arrive. So the Lord is going to show up, in the valley of Jehoshaphat, and that wasteland, that barren and desolate land, Saudi Arabia, in that desert, the Lord is going to show up in the midst of why they are fighting, and the Lord is going to, he's going to lay everything down, even with the ground, so the Lord will soon arrive. The Lord is coming. We're constantly warning you left and right. So the famine of the word is coming. Also, this great death and destruction. We are very close, man. We're very close, man. Man, we are so very excited. So let's close out in Luke chapter 21. Let's go back to Luke chapter 21. We start back up at verse 34. We close out here. Luke chapter 21 and verse 34. Let's start up here. And it reads, and take heed to yourself, lest at any time your heart be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that the day come upon you unaware. So a lot of people, this day gonna come upon a lot of people unaware, because what, they're not watching. They're in the house of mirth, constantly doing all sorts of sin, sin upon sin, and one thing about it, we already know that we're here, that do thy will spirit, a lot of people they love it here. They seeing, they hearing, but they're not believing still. But the Lord had put that veil upon it, has blocked them. But they're getting ready to see, but it will be too late. Verse 34 in the NLT, it said, watch out. Don't let your heart or your mind be dulled by carousing and drunkenness and by the worries of this life. Don't let that day catch you unaware. So, hey, man, a lot of people going to be unaware. Verse 35 said, for as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. It said, verse 35 in the NLT, it said, like a trap, for that day will come upon everyone living on earth, the hour of temptation. Jacob's trouble is getting ready to be a global event that you have never seen before. It's coming. It is fast approaching. Verse 36 said, watch ye therefore and pray always that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and to stand before the Son of Man, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So one thing about it, watching, be alert, praying without ceasing. We are here, man. And one thing about it, wisdom and knowledge, once again, will be the stability of the time. So I was reading NLT and we'll get ready to close out. Luke chapter 21 and verse 36 say, keep alert at all times. Be circumspect, redeem the time wise, because the days are evil. It said, and pray that you might be strong enough, which in fact is the elect, to escape these coming horrors and stand before the Son of Man, the King of the universe. He's getting ready to return and set everything back into order. So the title of today's lesson, once again, is World War III News Update. So I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.